So, hi everyone, welcome to our Nakba tour event. We are really honored and happy to have you all with us here today. And more importantly, we're really honored and happy to have our two honored guests with us today. Amina she's 22 years old and she's originally from Haifa and they currently live in Beirut. And Um Akram is from Akka originally and she's 86-year-old, Allah Tawad Ba'amurha. And originally, Um Akram actually left Beirut when she was 18 years old. So let's take, left Palestine when she was 18 years old. So let's take a quick poll. Who is 18 years old or younger? I see a bunch of you, so raise your hands. There you go. So imagine being a little bit older than what you are and leaving everything that you know and everything that you've ever seen to go to a different place that you've never seen before, leaving your family, leaving everything that you love behind so you can start a new beginning because you're pushed away because of oppression and war. And I'm sure, as many of us know, the right of return, that Um Akram, as many of us were hoping and wishing to go back. And unfortunately, it's been many years and they still have not gone back, and she's lived, and I'm sure I've seen grandchildren and children in Beirut, and I'm sure she's still pining to go back to Palestine. So with that, and without further ado, I'm going to let our wonderful guests to share their experiences with us all, and I hope that we all take this opportunity to really reflect and to think about the realities. Before I begin, I just want to give a special thank you to our wonderful co-sponsors, Drew University. If I can please get the Drew University people to stand up. So Drew University SJP, we're very thankful for their co-sponsorship. We also want to thank Montclair SJP. Thank you so much for your co-sponsorship. And we highly encourage all universities and all SJPs to join us. And if there's anything that we can do to help, please let us know. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I will pass on the microphone.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, and thank you for being here and thank you for having us. First, I have to say that I'm so happy to have such a young audience with us, especially these young kids, because usually we don't have it. And these kids must know the story, must know everything about their history. First of all, I am, as Rania said, I'm Amina. I live in a refugee camp in Beirut, in Burj al-Barajni refugee camp. And Akram lives in Ain al-Hilwi refugee camp since the year she was forced to leave her village al-Zeeb in Akka district. She's been living there since the 1984 in Ain al-Hilwi refugee camp in Saida. I'm going to start with a small video or short video about the life inside the refugee camps and how it looks like. Through this video, you guys are gonna see some tombs with names on them. These people, it's in Arabic, I'm sorry I did not translate that, but to know, these people were born in Palestine, but they died in the refugee camps.
عنا هدينا في غزة ست سنة شرادين عن الوطن مبعدين عنا هدينا في غزة عنا ملكنا في جنين وإحنا أبدا مش ناسيين خير بلدنا ولا نايمين سير سير يا فدائي الله معاك يا فدائي بكرة الطار وبكرة الطار بكرة نمحي الاستعمار
يا جذري إنني سأعود حتما انتظرني في شقوق الصخر والأشواك في نوارة الزيتون في لون الفراش يا جذر جذري إنني سأعود حتما انتظرني في شقوق الصخر والأشواك في نوارة الزيتون في لون الفراش وفي الصبا والظل في طين الشتاء وفي غبار الصيف في خط الغزال وفي الصبا والظل في طين الشتاء وفي غبار الصيف في خط الغزال وفي قوادم كل طائر شوق العواصف في خطايا وفي شراييني نداء الأرض قاهر أنا راجع فاحفظن لي صوتي ورائحتي وشكلي
بدو سؤال بدلنا محلول لنشوفها بس إذا رجعنا أكبر فرحة بتكون الله كريم إن شاء الله أطلب من الله سبحانه وتعالى نرجع على فلسطين إذا إحنا الكبار ما رجعنا يرجع الأجيال إن شاء الله الصغار يرجعوا بالنصر وأطولنا براس بإذن الله.
تايه والتيار شايف معاه اخبار تحت الجرح شايل فرح يمحي الاهل مور نوصل لحد الدار ليل على الجيران نطرق على الابواب سلم على الاحباب سلم
أنا من بلدة صفا مواليد 1961.
أنا من بلدة دير القاسي مواليد 1987.
أنا من قرية الكابري قضاء عكا مواليد 1956.
أنا من الكويكات قضاء عكا مواليد 94.
أنا مواليد بال 65 من بلدة البصرة قضاء عكا من لواء الجليل من فلسطين.
أنا مواليد 68 من كابري قضاء عكا.
أبو علي عزيز مواليد 1940 في يافا. انتهت على غزة وقعت غزة.
أنا بالصف الثالث وأنا من حيفا.
أنا بالصف الخامس الصف الخامس. أنا من فلسطين من الكامل.
حابب ترجع؟ طبعا ليش احنا قاعدين؟ نرجع كنا نرجع. هلا نروح احنا برا واحد بيت وطنه واحد بيت أرضه اللي بيت أرضه مش وطنه مش كويس مش عرضه عنده عرض ولا عنده إيمان. هذه أرضي وهذه بلدي وهذه وطني أنا مساها يعني عبرت عليك.
ليل على الجيران على
So after this video, I'm going to tell you what is the Nakba. Because one of the kids came to me and he asked, one of the kids that are, I think he's here, he said, what is it? What is this about? So I told him it's about a presentation about the Nakba. And I told him, do you know the Nakba? And he was like, no, I don't know. So this is something bad that kids hear. I told him, I asked him, are you a Palestinian? And he said yes, but he does not know what is a Nakba. And I think all the parents here and everybody here holds the responsibility to tell their kids about this day, because this is a day when more than 750 Palestinians became a refugee, and it's a big part. It's a day when the so-called Israeli entity was established, and they must know it is their history. So I'm going to start. We have this map of Palestine. Of course, you have to know two things. First of all, I don't use the word Israel during my speech or anything. I use the occupied territories or occupied Palestine. We do not use the word Israel. I may use Israeli entity, but no, not Israel. So when I say to these things, you know that I refer to what you guys may know as Israel. And the second thing is that during the 1948, there were so many massacres that were held by the Jewish European, or by the European Jews. They are gangs. And the reason I say that I use this description is that before the 1948 or during the 1948, there was no Israel. There was no existence for what we know as Israel. So that's why we're going to use this term, so that you can relate between the story of Akram and so you have an image in your head. This is, as I told you, the map of Palestine before the 1948, and this is Akram. As I told you, she's from al-Zeeb village, and this is al-Zeeb village, as you can see right here. And right here down, we have this settlement. It is Nahariya settlement. This settlement, there was Jews inside it, European Jews, of course. And as you know, the Jewish immigration from Europe into Palestine started in the 1800s, but the establishment of Israel only happened during the 1948. And of course, this is here we see Lebanon, here. That's why people from Zeeb left Zeeb, Palestine, into Lebanon. That's why we have the refugees inside Lebanon, because it was the nearest to the borders. Okay? So, what happened during that day or that time was the Jews wanted, or the Zionists wanted a state for the Jews. That's what they said. So they found that they wanted to make it in Palestine. So what they did, they started the immigration into Palestine, and they started to force people out of their lands. So you guys here, you live in New Jersey. They come here, and they start making massacres, killing people, using axes. As you can see, they start killing people, killing kids, killing women. They started killing anybody that comes to them. And that was the reason of Deir Yassin massacre. Deir Yassin was a village near Zeeb village. They entered this village, and they killed all the people inside it. Of course, the Palestinians back then were not strong, because they were under the British mandate. And because of the British mandate, of course, they were not allowed to hold any weapons or to be strong. So it was so easy for the Jewish gangs to invade or attack these villages and kill the people inside it. And as you can see, we had the Deir Yassin massacre. And because people were too simple, some villages started to run away and flee into Lebanon even before the Israelis came to them, because they were frightened and they were so scared. And these images are from the Deir Yassin massacre. Of course, this is a quote from the book of Menachem Begin. Menachem Begin was at some time the prime minister of the Israeli entity, or the Israeli entity government. But back then in the 1948, he was a butcher, because he was the head of the Irgun gang, which was responsible for killing people in Deir Yassin massacre. And he says Arabs throughout the country. Of course, by Arabs he means Palestinians, but he's trying to cancel the existence of Palestinians, so he uses the word Arab. Arabs throughout the country, induced to believe wild tales of Rangoon butchery, were seized with limitless panic and started to flee for their lives. This mass flight soon developed into a maddened, uncontrollable stampede. The political and the economic significance of this development can hardly be overestimated. So basically, Deir Yassin massacre had a big influence on the Palestinians. That's why they fled their villages, and by that the Israelis or the occupiers were able to establish their land or their country, their so-called entity, by just killing people and making them or forcing them out of their lands. And then we have these photos. These photos this is an Nakba. Now, when you see these photos, you should like start to imagine these. When you hear the word Nakba, you have to start imagining these photos in front of you. People fleeing their lands, having nothing. Scared because of another some gangs just attacking them and killing them. And of course, people fled their villages and to live inside these tents. They left their big houses. Kids like you left their rooms, their toys maybe, their everything to go and live inside these tents in refugee camps. They lived in these tents for several years, like this, in order for Israel to be established. Now we're gonna hear the story that Akram has to tell us about the Nakba and how she was forced to leave her house and her land in al-Zeeb village.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. قريتنا الزيب قضاء عكا كانت قريبة كتير على مستعمرة اسمها نهارية، قريبة جدا على بلدنا. بلدنا عندها طبعا حمضيات وخضار وفواكه ومن جميعه. كل يوم تروح النقلات على عكا على حيفا تنباع. قبل النكبة بكم يوم راحوا يودوا النقلات مثل جار العادة. الطريق هي مساقبة بتنزق من قلب نهارية. لقوا للسيارات، قتلوا أصحاب الرزق والشوفيرية، 3 شاحنات كانوا رايحين. عدد القتلى كانوا 10، وحرقوا السيارات. وفي سيارتين لبلدنا شاحنات ياخدوا خضرة، كانت كمان نزل خضرة، شافت الدخان وسمعوا الرصاص. سألوا قالوا قتلوا ال3 شاحنات يعني وحرقوهن وقتلوا اللي بقلبن. رجعوا خبروا أهل البلد الزيب، وصارت المشاكل. أول شيء
next to our village there was a settlement of Nahariya. This settlement was so close to our village, and because our village was so we used to in our village people used to carry the stocks and vegetables and fruits from the main village into the main cities of Akka and Haifa, and that's how people used to live. One day, and of course the road that connects the village with Haifa and Akka used to pass through Nahariya, the settlement of Nahariya. Once there were 3